Okay, guys, today, look, we are going to make sucker sides. Have you ever had sucker sides? And doughboys, kind of for one, two maybe, and french fries for one. Okay, come on. Oh. Welcome to Driftwood and Shine Cooking. Come on in my kitchen. Today, we are cooking something you may not be familiar with. I don't know how many areas in the United States have this. It's called sucker sides or suckers. Now this is a humpback piece of sucker, and do you see how it's gashed? You have to gash it like that because it has so many bones in it. But let me see if I can hold him sideways and you can tell the humpback part. See where it starts to go up? And here's a little hump, okay? This is called a humpback sucker. And like I said, we have to gash him real a lot. Now, this is a red. And before you clean him, I think you can see a little bit right along here. There's like a really red line in them. But they're a red fish, a red color compared to the humpback. And you still have to gash him. That's what they call it, gashing him. And if you can see, Wes has him gashed almost to the very skin, see? So that all the bones, because they're real bony fish, but that way all the bones are cut, and so when he's fried, you can eat the whole thing. Now, they are only in season here in this county, my county, from, I think he told me, from November to the end of January, and that's it. And you can only catch them in the Flint River, and you can only catch them by net, and there's only a certain length of the river that you can fish for them in, or net for them in. So I guess they're apparently they're a extinct fish or whatever. But oh, I can even feel, like when I feel right here, you can even feel the bones. So. But when they're cut, you don't. I mean, when they're cooked. So we'll be back when we're ready to cook them. Hey guys, we're going to make doughboys for one, maybe two, okay? Turn you down. Okay, we've got our bowl. Got a half a cup of plain meal, not self-rising meal. And then I'm going to crack my egg in my bowl because I don't like shell. Just in case. Now, I can't cut the egg down, and I don't have a small egg, so I'm using the egg that I have. Okay? And then we're going to use about, a half a teaspoon of baking powder. I'm going to use about a half a teaspoon of salt. Okay, then we're going to cut us an onion, some onion. This is a small one, but I don't need the whole thing in there. And I like onion in my doughboys. If you don't, and guys, doughboys are the same thing as most people call hush puppies. I just grew up with them being called doughboys, so to me, they're a doughboy. And I know all about the, throwing the bread and saying hush puppy when a puppy's whining, but we still call them doughboys. But I just did me some hash marks on there, and then I'm just cut me some little pieces right into my dough or my meal. And it's cut as many as you like, guys. I mean, if you're making them for yourself, you know whether you like a lot of onion or a little bit. I like a lot. Okay. And then we're just going to start with just about that much milk. And then get them to the consistency that you want them. I like mine a little bit thicker consistency. Of course, with my egg, it's not going to be real thick. Okay, now I've got them made. I'm just going to let them sit until I'm ready to cook them. Okay, now, what I'm going to do is take my meal, put it in my pan. You don't have to have a whole lot for just these two fish, but I'm putting a little bit. into my meal, I'm adding, that's probably, I'm going to guesstimate that's about a half a cup or so. And I've got just a tiny bit of flour in here. And I'm going to salt. When I salt across and back like that because I want my fish to have some salt on them, guys. Okay, now we're just going to take our whisk and whisk the salt and flour and meal all together. Now, I do have my grease already starting to get hot. And I don't salt these first, guys. That's when I salted my meal good, because with them having the gashes, I like to kind of hold it and make sure that my gash is getting, you know, some meal in there too. This has little bitty gashes. I'm gonna tell you, Wes is very, that's Jeff's brother, Sonny's brother-in-law. He is very patient because this is a lot of fish to gash. A lot of gashes on, this is just called a sucker side. The whole fish, you know, is of course the whole sucker, but you order them or you buy them. I think you even order them if they ever were in a restaurant. I've never seen them in a restaurant, but you buy them by the side. You say, I want 2 sucker sides or 2, you know, whatever. That's what you do. And Wes does sell them to the local grocery store here in town, because they have a fish market in the back of their store, and he sells them to them, and that's how they sell them. It's by the sucker side. I think that's so cool. I had never even heard of these guys until I moved, or until Sonny and them became part of the family. Sonny and them. Sonny's always been part of the family. Ignore that statement. Until Jeff and his family become part of our family. And apparently they had eaten sucker sides. Oh, I'll show you another thing. I'll show you another thing. This is the humpback piece. Well, you look at it that way too. Can you tell where that's thin and then it has the big part? All that plays a part in the humpback part. Okay, I think my grease is hot enough. So we're going to go ahead and put him down. And I'm going to put him down split first, the split side. But see how he immediately curls? I don't know if you can see that, but I'll bring it closer to you. Okay, this long one I just cut in half. But I'm going to do him the same way. Split side down. Now, how well you like them done is up to you. Sonny likes hers like almost kind of crispy. And if they're the bigger ones, I like mine cooked a little more too. We'll be back when they're ready to turn. Let me pull you over here real quick and just see how they're curled. See, he's almost like curled to where it touches. But that's pretty cool. Pretty cool, guys. Pretty cool. All right. Okay, guys, I don't normally cook anything in with my fish, and I definitely don't normally cook my french fries in there, but I only have me 1 potato that I have french fried, and I'm just going to put it in here because I have room. That way they can be cooking at the same time. And we'll be back when it's ready. Okay, guys, now I've learned that cooking them in this pan and not outside, they don't curl as bad. They just curl up in the edges. But this humpback one, he's all floating and ready. So we're going to take him up. And I'm going to turn him upside down so he can drain out from the gashes. I'm going to turn these over one more time. And they'll be ready to take up. Okay, now our french fries are ready to come up. So we're going to take them up. I like to drain my fried food, guys, on a cookie sheet or, you know, something of that nature. cookie cooling rack, not sheet. Okay, now our fish is ready to come up. See how they are beautiful and gashed, but I'm going to turn them upside down so that they can get a lot of that grease off. And now we're going to fry. I've got me some water with a spoon for our doughboys. And there's my doughboys. It's kind of risen a little bit and gets more solid and almost fluffy. Do you see that in there? You just put it in whatever size you like. When it starts getting a little sticky, you just put it back in your water. And that's going to be way too many doughboys for me, but that's okay. My chickens will love them. There it is. Okay. Then we just take and turn them, of course. Some of that, see, he turned himself. When you kind of move them around, see, he turned his, see, look there. When they're nice and fluffy, they'll do that. When you move them around some, that, see, look there, look there. They'll just turn themselves. Isn't that amazing? Okay, guys, we're ready to take them up. As little as I made these, it does not take very long for them to get done. So just take them up when they're brown and kind of floating, because they cook pretty fast. Okay.